Welcome to Unmuzzled. I'm Sarah Lauk, the host. Thank you guys for your patience. I recorded a few shows. I decided to go live tonight because I have an amazing guest. I'm just going to call her Dr. Josie. Usually I call the vets by like their full name, but she's been an amazing vet for Live Like Breathe Foundation, and she has since opened her own practice in Nashville. So we are really going to get into it. Before we get there, a little time for the sponsors.
Thank you so much to our presenting sponsors. Canine Cruise is the place to take your pet. They offer dog and cat boarding, dog daycare, pet retail, and mindful day school. With over 12,000 square feet of indoor space and a spacious yard, they're the one-stop shop for professional pet care in Chicago. Bark Pouch makes mess-free lickable treats for a delightful time with your dogs. Reward good greetings, treat calm table manners, or enjoy a walk together with their easy-to-use pouch. With 5 irresistible all-human-grade recipes in 2 sizes, even picky pups find a favorite. One gentle squeeze and a quick lick of Bark Pouch treats, and you'll enjoy amazing attention, even when you're wearing gloves. Hopefully we're out of winter soon, though. Kiki's Corner Natural Pet Foods in downtown Winfield, just a block south of CDH Hospital on the railroad tracks. Kiki's has all your food and health aid needs for dogs and cats. Kiki's Corner for a healthy, happy pet.
Thank you, sponsors. I'm bringing in Josie because she's got, whenever we have an animal on the podcast, people just flood to the stream. So there we go. Who is this?
This is Biggie. He is my little, like, I don't want to say obese, but he's round, Chihuahua mix. And yeah, he's a legend.
I love him. I love following him. I love following actually all of the animals, including in your practice. But I'm going to bring up this picture because this is a legendary picture from one Dr. Josie works in Boulevard Vet. And I'm sure you remember this dog. Her name was Bahama Mama, and actually the family changed her name to Truffle. But she came through our Hot Mess Express program that I did with Dawn Eisenhart from Lulu's Locker. So I remember getting this picture and I was like, oh, she's in the best hands. But I'm sure you remember that dog, right?
I will never forget that dog for the rest of my life. I was this close to bringing her home. My husband was like, we might get divorced if you come home with another Chihuahua. So sadly I let her go, but she's like one of the greatest of all times.
Yeah. And the thing is so if you guys know me, you probably know why I love Dr. Josie too. So I'm going to show this comment. Okay. And it's Danny, who you know, I told her you were on tonight, and I'm like, no, that's a great comment. And for the kids, just, you know, cover your eyes. But hi, Danny.
Not family friendly tonight.
So good. I know you miss. You took away one of Boulevard's vet techs with you, but before we get into kind of the move from Chicago, and so Dr. Josie now lives in Nashville. Like I said, opened her own practice there. She was at Boulevard, who is a partner with Live Like Breathe Foundation, also helped with Hot Mess Express dogs. So that's how I met her. She was kind of my go-to be honest with you, for Boulevard, for Chihuahuas with issues and hot messes, yeah, and animals with cancer. So when she left, I was heartbroken. But start with kind of the beginning, you know, how you got into vet med and how you got where you are today.
I got into vet med when I was 15. I have never worked in any other industry. My mom was like, if you want to have a car, you got to pay for your own gas. And so I was 15. I walked down the street. The first place I passed was a vet clinic. I put in my application and I was a kennel assistant all through high school. I scooped a lot of poop, took care of a lot of patients post-op, and then from there went to college with the intent of going to vet school, and I never really looked back.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome. You know, did you have pets growing up too? I assume where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. I had a dog growing up. I, from a young age, was bringing home rabbits, guinea pigs, lizards, like anything I could get my hands on. So yes, we definitely had animals.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I think as women business owners, we kind of have done everything because you kind of have to do everything to get where you are.
Yeah.
But it also makes you appreciate all of those other jobs. So doing that and kind of learning all of that and then deciding to make the move, how tough was that? Or was it not tough? Was it like, this is my next step, I'm doing it?
Like moving to Nashville, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, that was my husband's idea. We had to move for his job essentially. And so I guess to backtrack to like what you said, as far as starting in a role, especially in a veterinary hospital where you're like more of a support staff, it's really given me a huge appreciation for what our assistants and our nurses do. I think that they don't get the glory that the doctors get, but they are such a huge integral part of the hospital and really make it go round. And so I think starting at the very bottom of the totem pole and working my way up has been, just like you said, allowed me to have insight to what those jobs are like. And I just have so much respect for them, and they don't get thanked enough. So the next time you're in a vet clinic, to anyone listening, make sure you thank your nurses and the assistants and the front desk staff, because they really are the real MVPs. And then as far as moving to Nashville, I loved working at Boulevard. Loved it. I loved Dylan, who owned the clinics or still owns the clinics. I loved all of my coworkers, so I probably would have stayed forever and been very happy, but my husband's job brought us to Nashville. And then in coming here, I was like, I think I'll maybe strike out and do my own thing.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. And I will mention that Dr. Bean is still Max Vet, so I drive all the way to Lakeview from Arlington Heights, which is far, but I would not have it any other way. He knows that dog inside and out, and it's I love him, and I love that you still have that friendship, even though you guys are a little bit of a ways apart. It's great.
He's hands down one of the best vets I've ever worked with. So Mac is in good hands, and he's just an amazing person in general. So he's getting the best.
He is. Yeah, I followed him from Logan to Lakeview. I'm like, dude, wherever you go, I'm following you. So don't move out of Chicago, please.
He is the best.
Yeah, so good. And like you said, the entire again, this isn't an ad for Boulevard, but they're so gracious with everything for what they do for Live Like Brew. Like I know a lot of the front desk staff. We invite them to our prom every year. Like they all are incredible people. So the hiring job that they do, from the vet staff all the way to the front desk, is incredible. And I got to meet you through that. So so what is I always ask this when I have a vet on, what is kind of like the toughest part of your day-to-day?
I think the toughest part is it can be a roller coaster of emotions. And so one minute you can be a part-time therapist, like you've got someone who's getting ready to say bye to a pet that they've had for 10, 15, 20 years. And then the next minute you could be going into an exam where it's a brand new puppy. And so it's a lot of emotions and just learning how to compartmentalize and set your own emotions aside so that you can be kind of a non-biased party for your clients and help guide them the best way possible.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's exactly what somebody else said that I had on, and I'm sorry that I can't remember who it is right now because I just had so many people on. They said it's really hard to go from one room and then have to like switch your brain to a whole nother mode to go into a room that is like the exact opposite. So yeah, how do you also, like, this is also like really important because we talk about a lot in rescue too, and you've also worked with a ton of rescues and rescue animals. How do you deal with that compassion fatigue? And we know about the suicide rates in vets, and I mean, I can't even imagine owning your own practice and then also dealing with that, because you also have a whole staff to embrace. So how do you do that? Do you get away sometimes, or what do you do?
Yeah, I'm lucky in that I have a great husband who's very supportive and is a good outlet for me where I can talk to him. And then I really made an effort to do a lot of self-care. So I go to therapy, I get acupuncture, I do a lot of things to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, because compassion fatigue is definitely real. And if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of my team either. So yeah, I'd say I try to prioritize self-care and then just be, real about it with my clients and my staff, and, hey, I'm having anxiety today, or I'm feeling really down today. And it's not like, we're all human, and just embracing the human side of yourself and not trying to shoulder it all. And being open and talking about mental health, I think, goes a long way.
Yeah. So thanks for talking about it. I appreciate it. Cause I do think it's really, really important. And really important too. I think, now that I own two businesses, it is hard to step away. Like if you step away, you're just worried. Okay, what is happening if I don't look at my phone for an hour? What happens if I go for a massage and something's blowing up?
Yeah.
It is really, really hard because the businesses that we own are about, making sure everyone's taken care of. And sometimes there's emergency situations. So totally get that. And it is really hard. And it is really important, I think, in this day and age. And now with people being so impatient about everything, is to give space to people that need it when they say, hey, I need space, or I need some time. So, and not to be like constantly pinging, somebody that might need a little, like an hour or two. So yeah, that's great. What are you excited about? Because I know too, like your learning never ends, your technology learning, your vet med learning. What are you excited about kind of that's on the horizon that you can see?
Well, I'd say, I think vet med is like really evolving right now, where we've always been like a couple decades behind human medicine, but I think that, we're starting to catch up in a lot of ways. And I think there's a lot of like really cool medications and technology out there. I know you and I had just mentioned Librela before getting on here, but which we can definitely get into. Yeah, I think that like we're making huge strides in vet med, and whether it's insurance or the advanced technology, like radiation oncology, like all the different things that are being invested in our field, like I think we're making huge strides.
Yeah, I think I get a lot of questions, or like people will send me poop and say like, should I worry? They just think I have like this experience that I don't necessarily have, or I might know. But Librela has been something that's been on my radar because obviously I've had a lot of old dogs. I had a Basset Hound that had awful arthritis and joint issues, and you try to stop them from jumping, and but Librela, from what I've heard from my vet med friends and people that have actually used it, is it really does work.
Yeah, I would say the overwhelming majority are seeing really good response to it. And so for those of you tuning in that don't know what it is, it's a monthly injection for dogs that is meant to target arthritis pain. And so typically we manage arthritis with joint supplements, and then we have like an ibuprofen for dogs that we can, hey Megan, that we can give. And those are great options, but giving an ibuprofen type medication every single day is not without side effects. And so Librela is really cool in that it does not have those side effects. It's a once monthly injection, and it targets the nerve growth factor, which is a little bit different of a way to treat it than an NSAID is. And we're seeing an amazing response. In fact, the company that manufactures Librela has had to come out with a how-to guide on how to slowly reintroduce your dogs back to activity, because dogs are feeling so great. They're like, let's go. They're like parkouring off the walls and hurting themselves because they just feel so much better. So I think that is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we've needed for so long, and it's like all these cancer things that are coming out that people keep sending me this week, like the at-home cancer tests for dogs, and now there's all these new studies about a new trial on things. Like you just hope that like something is going to actually work. And when it does, it's like, oh, this is going to change so many lives.
Yeah. And the cool thing is most of our dogs that have arthritis are older patients. And so they usually have other issues going on, not always, but their kidneys may not be going 100%, or they may have like a liver thing. And so having something that's safe like this with minimal side effects that can make them feel so much better is just a huge win.
Yeah, so great. Anything else you want to share with everybody? So Good Vets Nash is where she is, Good Vets Nashville. If you're in Nashville, which we are trying to have, I should let you know this because I would love to have you there. We're trying to do a Roof Fest. So here we do a Roof Fest, which is a festival in the fall where we have a bunch of vendors, live music. It's at a brewery usually. So we're trying to do that. So if we do that, I would love to have you there with your little booth and everything. Or if you want to just come hang out, that's cool too.
I will be there for sure.
Awesome. You need to come down too.
I would love that. But yeah, I mean, Nashville's great. The one thing is the winters are a lot better. I love Chicago. The food is amazing. The city is awesome. Like you cannot beat it. But the winter here, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can ever go back.
Yeah. I mean, so what is the biggest thing you miss about? So you grew up in Indy. Where did you go to college, Dr. Bean? You went to med school.
We went to Ohio State for vet school.
Okay, right. And then did you get to Chicago then right away, or did you live anywhere else?
Yeah, I went to Chicago right away. I worked at Blum Animal Hospital, which is also an amazing veterinary clinic. I worked under some I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on this, but there's some badass women that were just amazing mentors. I got like the best experience with them. And so, yeah, I went right to Chicago, worked there, and then ended up going to Boulevard. And what was the question? No,
so what do you miss the most?
Okay, yeah. I miss the food. It's the best. Like, I don't have, you can order Thai takeout in Chicago and get the best Thai meal in your life. And it's just like, it's not the same here. We have good food, but it's like a lot of fried chicken.
That's hilarious. Thank you, Dr. Josie. You're an amazing guest. I may have you back on. Maybe we could do like a Q&A where people submit questions because I feel like you have so much good knowledge about even things that are coming up. So thank you for joining me. We miss you. I really miss you, especially with all of my cancer and hot mess dogs. But I appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome. Wait, really fast before we go, I saw Herman got 21 teeth pulled today.
Oh yeah, I meant to mention that on the top of the show. Yeah, 21 teeth for a little Chihuahua, and so we were actually talking about this. If you've not experienced like a mass tooth removal from an animal, they cry and groan and whine, and it literally like breaks your heart. It's an awful sound. So I was talking to Young at Heart. That's where he's from. It's a senior vet or senior rescue here, but they have a vet on staff. So, they were like warning me. I'm like, oh, I know. I've had so many Chihuahuas with all their teeth taken out. It is the most. But anyway, he's been good so far, but I think he's still jacked up on anesthesia right now.
He's had a few margaritas today, I'm sure. But yeah, it's crazy. If you've ever had a wisdom tooth pulled, you're sore afterwards, of course, but not having those infected teeth in, their life is so much better.
And that's the thing, I worry about his diet, but I like everybody said, like his diet will probably get better because he'll be hungry now. Like he's literally his mouth was like rotting. I mean, they couldn't even save one tooth. And he loves these chicken chips, which are literally like hard chips. So I'm like, I'm going to have to like grind these down into like, very small pieces. But yeah, I mean, our Mac, our other toothless Chihuahua, he was eating dry food for a long time without any teeth, just small pellets. So they can still eat dry food, but it's just with his diet and like he's so picky. So I worry obviously, but yeah, I know you love the Chihuahuas too. So thank you for mentioning.
I love them. He's so cute, and he'll feel. I mean, yes, post-op it can be a little rough, but long-term it is like a no-brainer. It makes their life exponentially better.
Yeah, and hopefully he lives a few more years with that. I know even like, how that infection like affects everything else, like the nose, even the eyes. Sometimes it's awful, but yeah, He'll be okay. I appreciate it, Dr. Josie. Take care. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Dr. Josie. So honestly, if you're in Nashville, which I know that I think there's some followers of this podcast in Nashville, and I know we have actually Live Like Rue has 2 people in Nashville that do events there, Kyla and Karen. So I know they're probably watching or listening the next day. So check her out. Check out that amazing practice. She does great stuff for rescues. Supporting sponsors, you're up.
Thank you so much to our supporting sponsors. Give the gift of joy and memorable moments of furry loved ones with a gift card from Kimberly Kingen Photography. For more details, please visit her website at kimberlykingen.com or contact her directly at her email, kimberly@kimberlykingen.com. The K9 PT is Chicago's highest rated dog physical therapy clinic, and they're dedicated to enhancing the lives of your 4-legged companions as they age or when recovering from an injury. They also offer a discount for rescue dogs. For more information, visit thek9pt.com. That's THEK9pt.com. Anything is Plausible is Chicago's premier dog training company. They offer group classes for every stage of your dog's life and have a talented team of behavior specialists to work through any issues that need modification using positive reinforcement. Check out Anything is Plausible. Liz Starks at Guaranteed Rate. Check with Liz for the absolute best mortgage options. She helps when others can't and even calls it rescue loans. Buyers, sellers, investors, give Liz a call. She can lend in all 50 states. NMLS number 224526.
Thank you, supporting sponsors. Also, I wanted to give a little shout out, Ocean Drive. If you know, you know. But it is a bar at the Jersey Shore that has no shower happy hours. I may have gotten kicked out of there once in college by my boyfriend, but it was not my fault, just FYI. But Ocean Drive, Seattle City, we go there every summer. So thank you, Dr. Josie. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you next week. Take care.